Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. I'm your host, Sam Adavi. I'm finally back home. We're coming to you from the set of Sam's Garage, and this special how-to episode is presented by NHOU Undercoating. Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. This is gonna be one awesome car.
And I said, it doesn't even run yet. And look at it now, it's amazing.
Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. I'm your host, Sam Adavi. This episode of Lokar is brought to you by NHOU Undercoating. Today we're going to take the fear out of ceramic coating. We're going to show you how to shine your car for the next car show. I'm here with my two good friends, Jared Freeland and his dad, Buddy Freeland. They are the owners of State Collision Center. They do an awesome job detailing, paint correction, and ceramic coating. And today we're going to teach you guys how to properly wash your car, take the fear out of ceramic coating. We're going to explain paint correction. These guys are professionals. I'm going to go ahead and let them explain.
Yeah, that's right, Sam. So today we'd really like to go through an in-depth look of what it takes to do a true paint correction, step by step, try and make it easy so that people can do it at home.
I know with ceramic, it's a little bit of a mystery for some of us older generation folks. Coming up on wax throughout the years, this is a true game changer, and look forward to sort of explaining and taking away some of the mysteries behind what ceramic is all about.
And hopefully we can save you guys some money and show your car at the next car show all shined up. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. I'm here with my good friend Mike from Rodden Customs. Behind me is a 71 Camaro that he built for his friend Bob. This car has a lot of detail and a lot of goodies on it. I'm gonna have Mike tell us about the details. Tell us about the car, Mike.
Hey Sam, first thing we wanted to do, we flared the fenders out. The front's an inch, the rear's are 1.5 inches. I just wanted to go a little bit bigger than normal, just so, you know, add a little taste to it.
What did you use to flare it out with?
They're all steel.
And you know, being steel, they're gonna last a long time without cracking.
And it has Ken Diggett door handles, they're flush fit. Has an Anvil Auto front end with the nose, the hood, the bumpers, and the front spoiler is all carbon fiber.
All carbon fiber along with the mirrors. It's not very often that you see an old school car like this Camaro having a new age front carbon fiber nose like you see here, along with the bumpers and everything else. Now tell us about the chassis. Did you just put a lot of good parts underneath the car?
It has Hotchkiss suspension underneath it. It is 4-linked in the rear with a 9-inch forward rear differential.
And it's got C6 brakes all the way around, 6-piston up front, 4-piston in the back. A lot of stopping power because this car has got an LS1 in it with a 6-speed Tremec. It's gonna make 550 horsepower. On the inside, when he was decided to do a track car, he went ahead and put a seatbelt, 4-point roll bar in it, along with racing seats and seatbelts. It's got a 2010 and newer Camaro dashboard, center console, instrument cluster, all autometer, and he's got the gauges with the shifter in that center console from the Camaro. Looks good in this Camaro.
Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate it.
We never go below the knee line until the very end because we don't want to pull any contaminants from the bottom that may have picked up from the road debris and work it back in. We don't want to scratch the paint, you know, with some debris that may get in there, even though we're using the 2-bucket method.
Now if you'll notice, after I do a panel, I'm gonna dip it into my dirty water, wring it out really good, trying to get all the contaminants off the sponge before I reintroduce it back to a panel. So then I'll go back to my clean bucket, get soap back on the sponge, and then take it back to the next panel. And again, when I'm washing this, it's very light pressure. We don't want to grind anything into the paint surface, cause any more swirls or imperfections in the vehicle's clear coat. So the basic meaning of hydrophobic is that something doesn't like water. So when you see the water on top of this coated surface, water's gonna repel off of it, nothing's gonna stick to it. So that's basically what hydrophobic means. It might sound complicated, but it's really all it is.
All right, so now that we have finished washing the car, we're gonna go ahead and start prepping the car for the ceramic coating, and this is where the polishing and the compounds come into play. And I'm gonna have Jared explain to you what the difference is between polish and compound and the different buffers that are available today.
Yeah, that's right, Sam. So most cars are gonna be more than happy with going with at least a 2-stage process right here. So this is gonna be our compounding pad, which is gonna cut through the clear coat. This is designed to cut. So when your vehicle has a scratch, that's basically just a gully that's in your vehicle's clear coat. So in order to make that go away, we've got to level the surface, which will make it look like glass. Then once we finish with our compounding stage, we're gonna move on to polishing. Now this is gonna remove any type of marring that might have been left behind during the compounding stage. So this is really going to bring out that shine and bring it back to life.
And you want to use a water-based product when you're doing ceramic coating, correct?
Yeah, that's right. All the products that we're going to use on this vehicle today for compounding and polishing are all water-based, which is not going to leave any residue behind when we're finished. That way it's not going to fill in any of the scratches or the cracks that might be in the paint. Another important aspect during the paint correction process is making sure that you mask up certain areas that you don't want to hit with your buffer. So certain areas like these plastic trim pieces, we would definitely want to mask off prior to the paint correction process.
Lokar Car Show, presented by Appalachian Backroads. Appalachian Backroads, Virginia is for lovers. Original Parts Group Incorporated, unbeatable quality, price, and in-stock selection for GM restoration and high-performance parts. NHOU Undercoating Incorporated, NHOU, the official oil-based rust-proofing system. Lokar Performance Products, quality, plain and simple. It's time for the Lokar Lowdown with Kevin Ford.
One small detail that you might be missing in your LS engine in your old hot rod is the valley plate. We've got a whole line of products that go make these engines look like your classic iconic engines, but the one that's overlooked the most probably is the valley plate. We offer this in a few different versions. We've got LS1 and LS3, so if you've got an LS3 and you need to block off the DoD ports and you want to improve the look, we've got that. Comes with O-ring for all the seals. You've got, in this case, we've got a breather oil fill version, and in this version we've got a built-in baffle system to run your breathing off the center of this. We also offer oil pressure relocation block. This gets you down to the bottom above the oil filter, and you can relocate the sensor so you're not up here unsightly in front of everything you're doing. This is just another addition to everything you can do to make your engine look like a classic engine but still have the modern performance of an LS and the reliability. Not only that, it's a little better for the environment. So check us out on lokar.com.
Believe it or not, that was a lot of fun. That was my first time doing any kind of buffing, polishing on a vehicle using compound. Jarrett made it so easy for me to be able to do. That was fun because you get the satisfaction of taking a panel and making it look good from when it was before. Now Jarrett's gonna go on to the polishing portion of it, and we're gonna learn how to do that. He's gonna give us some tips, and I'm gonna go in and do some of the polishing as well.
Okay, so for the polishing process, it's very similar to the compounding process. Our arm speed is going to be a little bit faster. Arm speed just simply means how fast you move the buffer across the panel. So to start, I'm going to spread the product evenly in about a 2 foot by 2 foot area on the lowest speed setting that the buffer has. That way we're not going to sling it and make a mess everywhere. Then once my product's spread, I'm going to raise my speed on my buffer to about 3.5 to 4 and work in about a 2 by 2 area. So let's go ahead and get to it.
And the reason why he put the cord over his shoulder is because he wants to make sure it does not touch the car, keeps it away, and manages the cord that way.
That's right.
So basically this polishing stage right here is a single stage paint correction, and this will be sufficient for most of you guys at home who are doing your at-home DIY ceramic coating procedure. You have a new car and you just want to give it a nice shine. A one-stage polish will probably do good for you. Unless you have something deeper, that's when you want to go see a professional like yourself and get
exactly.
a second and third stage.
That's correct. So this polishing pad right here is really going to bring out the shine in this vehicle's clear coat. That's all this is designed to do. This might cut down on some of the imperfections, but this is really going to bring out the shine in it.
All right, so now that we have got the polishing out of the way, we're ready to put the ceramic coating on. But before we do that, we have to prep the surface, and that is by getting all the contaminants off. And NHOU does include a small bottle inside your kit to do that with, and you can go on their website and get the supersized bottle because you're gonna want to use this a lot. Tell us about what we're gonna do with this.
Yeah, so the surface prep is gonna be our final step before applying the ceramic coating. What this is gonna do is lift any oils or anything that might be left behind on the surface. So the key for the longevity of the coating is gonna be the prep. So this is really the most important part right before we lay down the final product.
And this is where you want to use goggles and glasses because this could be a little corrosive, irritating, so this is a good time to use goggles and glasses.
One final point, with these microfibers that come with the kit, before we start touching this perfected paint that we have right here, we're gonna make sure we rip off these tags to prevent any type of scratching and shake them out really well before we use them. All right, so this is NHOU's ceramic boost spray. It's basically a sealant. This can be a standalone product if your car is not ceramic coated. You can use this on there. It's going to give it up to 6 months of protection as a standalone product. This is also a good idea to use on your ceramic coated vehicle to kind of keep that slick feeling that you want and really keep it shining. It's pretty easy to use. You just simply spray it onto the panel, take a dry, clean microfiber, and kind of work the product into the panel. You need shade to do this. You definitely don't want to do this in direct sunlight, but wipe it on, wipe it off.
Dave, who's a client of mine, has always wanted a Mitsubishi Eclipse like you see next to me. This is an all-wheel drive version, GSX turbo model. And this was one of his passionate cars that he's wanted to build, but unfortunately he passed away in 2015. So Rick, his father, is building him a tribute car so that he can take it to car shows and talk about his son and do it for his son, something that he's always wanted to do but it doesn't have the opportunity to do now. It's a 1997 Mitsubishi GSX all-wheel drive turbo, and these cars came turbocharged from the factory. What I've done to it is a bigger turbo conversion, equal length manifold. I went ahead and built the motor with forged internals, kept the compression the same so we can keep it reliable. It's got a front mount intercooler. We got a 3-inch downpipe all the way down to a 3-inch exhaust. Now, as far as suspension goes, we got full coilovers, adjustable, both rebound and dampening, and height adjustable. In the front, you notice we got CTSV Cadillac big brakes. It's a 6-piston brake, huge rotors. They actually fit on this car. Awesome kit, saves them a little money, but does the job. And the inside, these cars all came with gray interior, but this is gonna be one cool build, and Rick is gonna be able to go out and show it off in memory of Dave. I'm here with Ray. Behind me is his 2008 Honda S2000. A lot of work done on this car. We built this car for him about 6-7 years ago. It's sporting a turbo, makes 320 horsepower at the wheels. It's got the stopping power to go ahead and stop it as well with 14-inch disc brakes up front, 6-piston calipers, same with the rear, lowered, awesome wheels. I'm gonna have Ray tell us about the car.
Honda S2000 AP2. It's got a big Turbonetics turbo on it, big brake kit, G wheels, and it's got a full exhaust.
Now, Ray, I've noticed the car looks really good. What did you do to make it look so good?
Yeah, I applied the NHOU ceramic cell application kit. Everything's in the box.
Yeah, because you're gonna do a detail job on your car. First, you're gonna polish it and get that stuff off. You need the degreaser to go ahead and put the ceramic coating on. It's gonna go on the finish.
You'll actually spend more time degreasing your car than the actual application of the product. I ended up doing the 2 coats because the first coat went on so easy, so fast.
And you know, in the bottle, it gives you enough ceramic coating to do a full-size car twice. This one being as small as it is, you could probably get 3 coats out of it. Now, did you allow it to sit 48 hours after you applied it?
Yeah, the instructions say let it sit for 48 hours. I was a little hesitant at that because I live in an area where I have a parking deck. Followed the instructions, let it sit, and then once I was able to put it out into the sunlight, it couldn't be any more happy than how it looks.
All right, so in your NHOU ceramic coating kit, you're gonna get 5 microfiber towels. You're gonna get 2 applicator pads along with the applicator itself. You're gonna get the magical bottle of ceramic coating along with the surface prep, the clay bar, and 2 awesome stickers. All right, this is everything you're gonna need to be able to ceramic coat your car at home. In the future, you can go onto their website and purchase bigger bottles of the high gloss, and if you need surface prep, they got both of those on their website.
So we've got our applicator block here and our piece of fabric that comes in the kit. So all I'm gonna do is take this with the soft side down, try and roll it up as neat as possible right here. And now when we're first starting, we're gonna make sure that we prime this pad. All that means is we're gonna get plenty of product on this for our first initial application, plenty of material on here to start with. And that's gonna start us off here. We're gonna work in small areas.
I think one of the things we get in trouble with any products, whether it's waxes or ceramics or any of those products, is we try to do too big of an area and try to come back and wipe it off. The ceramic products, you really have to maintain a small enough area that you can control. your temperature and your conditions will have a bearing on that.
And this is where you said you don't want to put down force, you want to have more friction.
Well, when we're removing it, we want to use more friction than pressure. If we use too much pressure on it, we can let that sit and let that flash off for a few minutes or a few seconds. Your conditions in each particular situation are going to dictate how long you have to wait to wipe that off.
Now explain the nanotechnology.
Well, nanotechnology is really one of the biggest key factors to the ceramic's ability to have this very long-lasting effect. A chemical bond, or not necessarily a chemical bond, but an electronic bond, covalent bond. The other particles that we've used, wax polymers and sealants, they're very large, and those particles sit on top. This nanotechnology gets down into the cracks and crevices of the cross-sections of paint and allows this product to really grab a hold and give you extreme, long-lasting effects.
If you're a Honda fan, then you know what's behind me is a Civic Type R, first one in the United States. Chuck's the owner, and I'm gonna have him tell us all about his car.
Thanks, Sam. So as you mentioned, it's a Honda Civic Type R. Done a few bolt-ons to it, front mount intercooler, exhaust. Also, it has a Honda reflash on it, so it's making a little more horsepower than it was from the factory.
Now you did dyno. What kind of numbers did you put down?
Absolutely, so it made 350 horsepower to the wheels.
That's crazy. That's about 420 horsepower at the crankshaft. What did it come with from the factory?
It made 300 from the factory.
Now the Civic Type R first came out in Japan in 1997. We never got them here in the States, and back then it only had 170, 180 horsepower out of a 1.6 liter. To get 300 horsepower out of a 2-liter turbo is something really new for Honda and nice for us. Now tell us about the color.
Absolutely, so championship white is the color. It is a rare color. It has started in 1997 and then it has worked its way up through to the 2000s. It is their racing heritage color, so they won a few F1 races with it, so it's a celebrated color. It's a lot of fun to have.
Now this is a very capable car. You plan on doing any kind of road racing with it, or is it just an enthusiast car?
More of an enthusiast car right now, maybe in the future.
You ever take it to the track or anything like that?
Not yet, but hopefully soon.
Lokar Car Show, presented by Appalachian Backroads. Spearhead Trails, get out and explore. H&M Saw, the saw that cuts straight. Brothers Truck Parts, #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck parts. Stage 8, the world's best locking fasteners. Welcome back. Now let's go check out some cool cars. These old Corvettes are always cool to look at, especially when they come in yellow like the one behind me. Very nice looking car. Forrest just picked this up. He's already put some mods in the powertrain and he's gonna really make it his. Tell us about your Corvette, Forrest.
This is a 1972 Chevrolet Corvette. It's got a small block, very crisp cam. I don't know exactly the specs, but I like them. I just did a fuel pump on it. I'd like to make a little bit more power. You know, the car is not mine. I just now recently picked it up. You know, I've always wanted one of these, and they're just one of my favorite cars. It's a classic American icon.
Absolutely. You know, he just picked it up like you said. He changed the fuel pump out because it was leaking. This car must have been sitting for a little bit. Brake lines, he went through the brake system, finished it up, did all that, went through the transmission, old cork gasket was leaking. So he's got the powertrain where he wants it to be, and he's right, it does sound really good when idling. Now he's got to do the interior because that's where we all live. So once he gets the interior done, that's when it's going to be a real nice driver and you're going to love getting in it. What do you plan on doing to the inside?
I really like to do some custom lighting on the dashes. These have mechanical gauges in the back of them, and they're very cool if you do backlighting with LEDs. It's just, you know, kind of a timeless, classic mechanical gauge. I don't really like aftermarket stuff for gauges. You know, I like it to go in, turn the key, make it start and look nice.
And it looks period correct in this case.
That's correct. That's
and
correct.
What's cool is I did not know this about this car until Forrest showed me that the distributor has a mechanical drive gear that runs the RPM gauge inside. And like I said, I've worked on a lot of cars. I've never seen it, nor did I know it had it. Now, you know, we've all been waiting for the much anticipated mid-engine C8 Corvette. Mario has brought me his son-in-law's C8 Corvette. This is a brand new one. He just took delivery of it last month. Tell us about the car, Mario.
Yeah, the car is a 2020 Corvette mid-engine. It's a Stingray Z51, and it has a 1LT package, and it has 495 horsepower. These wheels are forged lines, and my son-in-law ordered them direct from Forge Line, spoke to them, they designed it specifically for this car. And they
had the wheels before the car, didn't he?
Yeah, yes, he did. He had the wheels, and the tires are Michelin Cup 2 tires.
Now, he was supposed to get this car in the spring, but it got prolonged, and so that's why he had the wheels before the car. And along with the lowering stance of the vehicle, you can see that they've added an aero kit to it. And what about the exhaust? Is that the stock exhaust on the car?
Yeah, right now it is the stock exhaust, but he plans to have that modified, changed.
And multiple times, Jason has launched this vehicle. It comes with launch control. This thing does 2.7 seconds. The worst he's done is 2.9 seconds, 0 to 60 per the computer on the dash. That's pretty impressive considering it's 495 horsepower.
My 650 horsepower Z06 might do 2.9, 0 to 60.
Yeah, absolutely.
and it would have to be a professional, not me.
Well, thank you so much for letting us check out your C8, Mario. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Hope you guys liked this season of the Lokar Car Show and this special episode brought to you by NHOU Protective Undercoating. We featured a variety of cars and we were able to go through the proper steps of showing you how to shine your vehicle for the next car show. I want to thank Buddy and Jarrett from State Collision Center for coming on board and showing us some amazing tips. I hope you enjoyed the Lokar Car Show, showcasing some of the country's most beautiful automobiles. Hoping you are inspired by some of these builds, giving you ideas for your next project. Maybe I can check out your ride at one of these events next year.